Colorado has joined a lawsuit with the Justice Department against RealPage, accusing the software company of coordinating with landlords to pool non-public tenant data and coordinate to keep rents high. The lawsuit includes 6 major landlords and property managers. Joining me this morning to discuss this lawsuit is our 9 News legal expert, Whitney Traylor. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in.
Sure.
Loving the suit.
Oh, well, thank you.
Looks very nice. All right, so this is really an antitrust action, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So what's the DOJ and other states claiming was anti-competitive by the landlords?
It's interesting because the notion behind antitrust is to foster competition, because competition is good for consumers, right? If you and I both have apartment units and your price is way higher than mine, then people are going to come to me. So the competition is good. So you're going to lower your price because nobody's going to be coming to you. And here, what they're saying is that these various defendants were working together. They were sharing sensitive information, sharing competition, competitive information that would. Essentially, they were working together to price fix and to keep prices at a certain level. And this was over 1 million units in 43 different states. So yeah, so this was fairly significant. And they were taking, RealPage was the original defendant. They amended the complaint to add these other defendants. And RealPage had fixed their algorithms and they were sharing this information. So that's the allegations, is that this was anti-competitive.
So with the amended complaints to add the additional defendants and plaintiffs, what are the specific claims against the new defendants?
Right, so what they're saying is that they were directly communicating with senior managers about rent, occupancy, and other sensitive topics. They actually accepted RealPage's pricing recommendations, which is interesting, right? If you're a competitor and your competitor says, hey, here's what the prices should be, this is what the range should be, and you accept that, that's not competition. And they had regular call-arounds where property managers called each other to discuss their marketing and these kind of things. They participated in user groups, so it was almost as if they were one company working together.
So we have a new administration that's about to come in. The DOJ under President Biden's been very aggressive in prosecuting antitrust cases. What do you expect now under the Trump DOJ?
Well, this is going to be interesting because I would say one of Biden's legacies, if you will, is the prosecution of these antitrust cases. And they were really aggressive on that in a number of ways with big companies and now even some of these smaller companies. We know that the Trump administration, they're very much about deregulation, competition all the way. So I'm going to be really interested to see what happens over the next 4 years with respect to these anti-competitive and antitrust actions. I think we're going to see a lot less. I think business is going to be, full steam ahead, and that can be the wild, wild west, and consumers may actually suffer from that if there's no less regulation and people can just do what they want.
Yeah. In this case, do you think they're going to settle or go to trial?
It's interesting. I think most cases settle, and it makes sense because they've asked for a jury trial, so you never know what a jury is going to do when you go to trial. It's a very scary thing, no matter how strong your case is, and it's very expensive.
Yes.
And here you have a number of states, including Colorado, joining the DOJ, so it's pretty significant. I think there will probably be a settlement, but of course I can't predict that. But they did have a consent decree with one of the companies, Cortland, and they manage over 80,000 units in 13 states. And the consent decree, essentially what Cortland is doing is saying, hey, we'll cooperate with you in exchange for, not being prosecuted. Now, the consent decree has to be approved by the judge. So there's a 60-day period. You can go online and see the consent decree, and people can actually give comments and say yes or no, and then it has to be approved. So that's already kind of towards the settlement posture. So. Yeah, so I think we'll probably see a settlement, but it'll take, if it doesn't settle, this will take years to sort out, and then there may be appeals and things like that.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. As always, Whitney, thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.